Day 18, Mindfulness Towards Successful Living. Please be seated. Get comfortable. Let's start with some good healing breaths deep in through the nose, out through the mouth. A quick body scan, see that we're releasing tension. Smooth, calm, gentle breathing. Tune in. And as you're sitting, try to be the experience, to completely join with it in all of your sensory ways. Thoughts, sounds, sensations, feelings. Try to be all of it in observation in the moment. And see how quickly you can just settle in to that space of pure observing the moment for what it truly is at that moment. Today we're going to do an awareness training, and it's through a practice that I call thought watching. As we have discussed in previous lessons, our monkey mind takes over, and our monkey mind is crazy in many, many ways. It just, if you really observe thoughts, it's unbelievable how random and how rapidly and how just crazy it can get. And so the practice of thought watching, use the analogy that as a thought would come into your mind as you're sitting still and gently breathing, we're not going to focus our attention on the breath today. But what we are going to do is turn our attention to watching thoughts, whatever they might be, as they come into our mind. And we're going to imagine that it's like we're watching the sky. And every thought that comes into our mind is just going to float right through as though it would be a cloud, just coming into our view and then floating right on out. And that's where we're going to turn our attention. And what you may find is that even in doing this practice where we think we're watching our thoughts, we're still going to have other crazy thoughts. We're still going to have other distracting thoughts. So this practice is not easy. So let's really tune in here. And we're going to focus on thoughts, watching our thoughts, as though they're literally coming into our view and our peripheral vision, as though we're looking at the sky, and then like a cloud they just float on by. We don't attach to them, we don't own them, we don't have to have any emotional reaction to those thoughts. We're just going to have a thought, and it's just going to be a thought, and then we're going to let it go. So let's just do this for a few minutes here. Tune into your thought watching. And when you find yourself distracted, thinking, even in the place where you're trying to focus on watching the thoughts, let that be okay, and just focus back into preparing and observing to see the next thought that pops into your mind. A second thing that we can do in this space is to then, at another level, identify and observe any emotions that might rise from the thought that we were watching. And this is a very interesting thing. So when we do this with the emotion aspect of it, I want you to imagine that it's like waves in the ocean. A thought comes, and then you may observe a feeling around that thought, and that feeling is going to rise, and then it's going to fall and just go away, just like a wave in the ocean, rising and falling, the same way that the thought comes in like a cloud and then leaves like a cloud. And we're not going to attach any feeling or any emotion to it. We're just going to be thought watchers today. Whatever the thoughts are, be curious. Where did the thoughts come from? Where are these thoughts originating from? And where do they go? With curiosity, really ponder that as you have a thought. If the next thought that you watch, the next thought that you see pops into your head, where did that come from? How long did it stay without you continuing to feed it? And then where did it go? Where do our thoughts go? Turn inside, really focus. Let's continue to thought watch now for a few minutes. And when you're lost in other thought, just bring your focus back to observing the next thought you might have. Great job. And in this last minute, let's bring our attention to our breath. Breathing gently. Without intentionally breathing, just observe the breath. Observe the pattern of your breath in this moment right now. Good job. I thank you for your practice, and I'll see you tomorrow for day 19, Mindfulness Towards Successful Living.